All right, so here we are, physics class, and we've set up our Google Sheet. Obviously, yours is named differently than ours. It's whatever period you're in, underscore your last name and your first name. And then this would be Hot Wheels data, our first assignment. So the first thing I'm going to do is I like to number trials, as I said when I was collecting data. And what I want to show you is that if I select this, and I have three numbers here, the software, if I grab this little square, when I see a plus sign and pull it down, will autofill whatever makes sense to it. So there we go. I've got my 20 trials. Now, the next thing is I can also use the same function if the number I want is the same. So this was a 13-degree slope. And notice I typed the units here in the header, okay? And so I'm gonna take this here and I'm gonna hit Command C, and I could paste it, Command V, whoops. Okay, but in Google Sheets, the smart thing to do is to write the number you want repeated since the slope didn't change. And again, drag that box down and it'll fill it in. And remember the distance for my experiment was 71.5 centimeters. Never put the unit in the box that you're going to do a calculation with, because Google Sheets will not do a calculation if you include units. All right, and so Command C there. Whoops. All right, let's copy that number. We need that little box. Great. Now the times were different every time, so I'm just going to type in my times for my experiment. If I hit tab, it moves my cursor to the box to the right. So after I hit 0.7, I want to hit enter. 0.7, enter, it'll move me down. So it's important here that my lab notebook was organized because it makes this go faster. You should be putting your data in right now as well. You'll see, as I told Graham in the video, this in the other video, this data looks pretty good to me. I think I'm going to be happy with the error here. Okay, so average speed is distance divided by time. Average velocity, which we're going to be studying in our next unit, is something called displacement divided by time. And displacement has a direction, whereas distance is just a measurement between 2 points. So in order to make Google Sheets calculate, you hit the equal sign, okay? And you want to use the cells so that you can copy the formula. So the average speed here is going to be equal to the distance, click on the cell, divided by, which is the backslash button, click on the time cell, and then I hit enter. Okay, so that is the average speed of the first trial, 102 centimeters per second, which makes sense. It went 70 centimeters in 0.7 seconds, so we might guess that it would go over 100 centimeters in 1 second. So there are too many decimals here. My measuring tools were not this precise. So I click on the cell and I go up here to the corner and I have a decimal 0 button with an arrow to make it smaller. And I'm going to make the decimal smaller. And then again, I'm going to grab the square, but this time it's going to copy the formula. So it's doing the calculation with each distance divided by each time next to it. Beautiful. This is why Google Sheets and Excel are so great. Okay. Now, finally, it's going to be important for us to find the average of this entire column, the average of the average speeds. So I'm going to click in the box next to average. I'm going to hit equals. And here it's already guessed that it wants me to write average. But if I want it to average, I can start writing A, V, and average is going to pop up here as one of these. So I click average, and then I grab all of the numbers that I want to average, which are all of these. I want all of these to be averaged. And then I have to hit shift and end the parenthesis. And then I hit enter. Okay, so that is the average, and I should write this, of the average speeds. Now, in centimeters per second. So centimeters per second. Great. Now, that is mostly going to get cut off. So in order to put all of the writing in the cell, I have to click on this cell that I typed. I have to go to Format, and I want to go to Text Wrapping. And rather than overflow, I want to wrap the text. Boom. All right. So that is that.